Welcome to another episode of Daily Gym. Have you ever experienced working together with somebody, agreeing on something, and later realizing that things have been done in a very different manner or that the outcome is very different from what you initially agreed upon? At that point, it's very easy to feel disrespected or have all these negative emotions or frustrations towards that person because you feel backstabbed or somebody didn't honor the agreement. Then over time, you might either develop animosity towards the person, or if you're in a bit more of a positive mood and you start thinking, how could it have been avoided? You usually come back to communication, that the initial communication, something went wrong, and there was something in the way you talk with each other that made that person think the agreement was different from what you actually thought. In my experience, usually this kind of situation occurs in three different manners. One being the way in which the work has been conducted or the time it took for the work to get completed. The second being the outcome, and the third being the work never actually gets done. And each of these, for me, I've developed a different way of handling them. But all in all, they all lead to learning, not just for myself, but generally also for the person that I'm working with. Firstly, the way in which it gets done, or the time it took, was much longer than originally expected. Usually this means that the person either doesn't have the knowledge of how to get it done more efficiently, they're stuck in a certain way of working, or they don't have the skill to actually do it as fast as you or somebody else are able to do it, even though they're following the same way. So generally speaking, we would probably ask that person, why did it take so long? But what it triggers is that the other person becomes defensive and feels attacked. So what I usually try to do is ask them, how did you manage to do this task? And discuss together so that for me, it makes it seem like I'm trying to learn, which I am trying to do. But more importantly, I get to understand how they think and how they try to work. And from there, I can observe and try to propose alternative ways of doing it, or propose places where they can improve their skills or get additional knowledge so it can be done in a much faster way in the future. But everything is offered as advice or suggestions, and it's up to that person if they want to take it or not. At least for next time, I know whether the person will accept a different way or not, and I adjust my schedule and my way of working accordingly. The second is the outcome is different. Usually you will encounter that you might agree on making a Facebook post in a certain way, and the picture is totally different from what you initially agreed upon. Or if you're making a physical product, you agreed on it being the color blue, and it turns out to be the color red. Again, you think that the person made a huge mistake, or they did something on purpose without telling you, and it's very easy to go to them, why is it this color, or why is this the outcome? And again, making the person feel like they're being attacked. Instead, what I try to do is asking them, I had the feeling that we initially agreed upon this particular color or this particular outcome. What made you change your mind, or how come it's different from what I was expecting it to be? And then you can hear the reasoning from that person. And more often than not, there was a very good reasoning that the person had for them changing the outcome. At that point, you can either say, let's do it differently next time so this kind of misunderstanding doesn't happen again, or you've learned something because the person actually made it in an improved way. Finally, you come down to the person not actually having done the work. Again, you can go to that person and try to attack them and ask them why it hasn't been completed yet. But what I find more effective is to ask them, what do they think is important for the company? And usually they will make this list of tasks or work that needs to be completed, and the task that you agreed upon just ends up lower and lower. At that point, I either talk with them to change their mindset on what is actually important, so it's a back and forth communication that we both agree upon a new timeline, or that we move the task to somebody else who has more free time on their hands, or who's simply more efficient at getting it done. As you can see, even if things don't exactly go according to what you agreed upon, there are many ways in which you can avoid it next time or create a learning opportunity for both sides. At a minimum, if you're able to do it in a positive and a proactive way and productive way, you're able to get a better relationship with that person. That's all I have to say for today. I'll be back with another video tomorrow, and have a nice day, everyone.